Hi there, I'm James Schuyler. I'm at the Christian International Film Festival here in sunny Orlando, Florida, and we're here with the Maurice Brown Sports Beat. Now, Maurice couldn't be here for today, but we do have the Black John Gruden coming here to help us out today. John?
Thanks a lot, James. I appreciate it, guy. I'm the black side, John Gruden. How you doing? The NFL draft was a couple of days ago, 2016, and two top quarterbacks were selected. Surprisingly, it was in the first pick was Cameron Guy from California, and then Carson Wentz from a little-known college called North Dakota State. Obscure.
I've never heard of it.
But they've had guys from obscure schools make it to the Super Bowl, so Carson can make it. Let's cut to the chase and talk about James. James, we're here at the International Christian Film Festival. Before I talk about your career, James, I want to give you a scenario. I want to see what kind of a quarterback you are. And here it comes. It's 3rd and 5, James. You're on the enemy's 7-yard line. There's only about a minute and 20 seconds up there on the clock, and it's ticking away. James, what are you going to do? It's 3rd and 5. What are you going to call?
3rd and 5, the first thing I'm going to call on the Lord.
That's my quarterback right there.
Hey you guys, I'm Venus Monique from the hit crime drama Vindication, and you guys should definitely make sure you're catching the Maurice Brown Show on Roku TV.
There are 5 seconds on the clock, and I'm going to call on the Lord, James. And I'm not going to send another email. Okay, hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Maurice Brown, and along with my good buddy, Antoine, Real, Stewart. What up, Stu?
What's going on, Mo? How you doing?
Man, I'll tell you, it's an exciting Monday as we got some games to break down. All Redskin fans, don't jump, okay? Suicide Watch is what we are here to do for you guys to make sure that you don't do anything crazy. It's going to be all right, right, Stu?
Oh, yeah. We're going to take care of them.
Don't jump. Okay, anyway, that was a wild game yesterday, dude. What in the freaking world happened to the Washington football team, man?
They laid an egg in the
wait
first
a minute,
half.
Stu. Wait a second, Stu. Wait a minute. Don't jump, sir. Okay, go ahead, Stu.
Yeah, they laid an egg in the first half and they came back out at the end.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Antoine, Real, Stewart on the show today. All right, Stu. Stu, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So we got Ape, Antoine, Antonio, Pierre, Jr. What up, P? Antonio,
what's going on, man?
Yeah. And James Moore here for the 49er talk. Well, James, hold on. We're going to get to that 49er talk. We got to make sure Redskin fans don't do anything crazy and hurt themselves first. What happened yesterday, Stu?
It was a wild week of football. Like I say every week, it's a week-to-week league. You never know what's going to happen, We had some crazy turn of events, and, you got to play for the full 60 minutes. Anything can happen. You can start off hot and still lose. You can start off slow and win the game. So, it was a wild week.
Well, yesterday, the Washington football team, they did not come to play. They got pimp slapped right off the rip. Micah Parsons and that front four of Dallas just ripped up that skin offensive line, and then they ripped up Heineke's skin.
Oh yeah,
and then he didn't want to. Then he didn't want to play anymore. He said, "I don't want to play anymore." And then they put the backup in there, and then all the Redskin fans were like, "We don't want you to play anymore." Go ahead, Stu. What happened, man?
The O-line, I said last week this game is going to be a battle of the trenches, and the Washington football team O-line was having a tough time with Dallas. Number 11, he kept blitzing in there. I believe he plays linebacker.
That's Micah Parsons.
Michael Parsons.
Yeah.
They didn't have nothing for him. They didn't have anything for him, and it was a tough game. They couldn't get the run game going, which is their bread and butter, and everything else fell apart, after that. So
everything. I mean, they it's almost like they didn't deserve to win the game. I mean, they almost came back on Dallas as only Dallas can do, allowing teams to come back on them, and they couldn't finish the deal. But listen, it's not over. First of all, Redskin faithful, it's not over. You know why? Because the Cowboys are the Cowboys. And just wait on it. Wait for it. It's coming. So, but we'll get back to them later. We got Aaron Moore coming on in about 5 minutes or so to talk more about what happened to the Washington football team on Sunday. Now, we'll get to some other scores. The Vikings over the Steelers, 36-28. Again, as only the Minnesota Vikings can do, and that's allow you an opportunity to beat them after they've been pimp-slapping you around for what, I don't know, 55 minutes, and then all of a sudden they almost lost the ball game, and it kind of goes back to, this dude right here. Was it that dude's fault?
Oh, yeah. Well, I would put it on the defense a little bit more because
okay, we'll give Dumb and Dumber a break on this one.
Nah, he still got to be included.
Okay, we got to include him. We can't just forget about Dumb and Dumber. You're right about that. Go ahead, Stu.
Yeah, the defense, to be honest with you, I fell asleep on that game. I was like, oh, this game is over. Minnesota got this in the bag. And then I woke up. It was like the last drive of the fourth quarter, and Pittsburgh was coming down the field trying to win the game. So I was like, wow, you got to play a full 60 minutes.
That's something the Vikings have yet to do all year. They could easily be 12-1. They've been in every single game. I think they have lost all those games combined by a total of 9 points. So the Vikings, they are what they are. They better get it figured out. If they do get it figured out, though, that's a team you would not want to play in the postseason. The Titans over the Jags. We got a sinking ship down in Jacksonville with Urban Meyer. What's going on with him?
They're a bad team. They got a lot of rookies, a rookie quarterback. And they're on rebuild mode, so they got to figure it out. They got a couple years to get some pieces in place, but it is what it is. They're a bad team.
Well, here's the problem, Stu. You can't coach and twerk at the same time. You see what I'm saying, Stu? It's kind of tough to do both at the same time. You know what I mean? Either you're going to coach or you're going to twerk. I mean, come on, Urban, make your mind up.
Yeah.
So they got a sinking ship in Jacksonville, dude. Now, Seattle whips up on the Texans yesterday, 33-10, and everybody wants to kind of go, it was the Houston Texans. Can we just understand that?
It was the Texans. I mean, that's what they were supposed to do. Russell's feeling a little bit healthy now. He's feeling his hand is getting better. And when you're playing the Texans, you're supposed to pimp slap.
You're supposed to pimp slap them, and everybody's hand gets better when they're playing Houston because because your pimp slapper works real good when you anyway. And then we got the Chiefs over the Raiders, and I think this one is a misleading score because the Raiders are kind of a sinking ship. They've had the kid that was speeding at 156 miles and caused a fatality. You had the kid that was arrested because he wanted to, show everybody that he was a real thug and start threatening to kill people. I think he was doing a TikTok video and it turned it into anyway. They got rid of him, and then you have what was another situation? Oh, then John Gruden, the guy that I was doing an impersonation of, and the emails. Yeah. They're a sinking ship going, and so 48-9. Are the Chiefs back?
I believe so.
Okay,
I believe so. Not just because of the score, but the defense scored as well. So that's what's the most impressive to me is the Chiefs' defense is actually stepping up to the plate. And that's what makes them kind of scary is that when you're not just thinking about Mahomes and the offense, but the defense is making plays. I think the Chiefs
and also playing Gonzaga prep. But no. You're right. They could be back, Stu. I mean, hey, we got to see. I want next week is going to be their test. They're going to play on Thursday Night Football against the LA Chargers out at SoFi. We'll find out. I think that game will tell us where they are.
I believe so.
Saints 30-9 over the Jets. Speaking of Gonzaga prep.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then we go to the Falcons over the Panthers, 29-21. And in that ball game, I think Cam Newton ended up. It was at a critical point of the game. It was 20-14, and I think Cam went out there and stepped, or I think he stepped on the center's foot or something, and that changed the whole complaint. Is Cam Newton done?
I don't know. Again, I believe they started him a little too soon. He didn't have any OTAs. He didn't have any practices and everything. And he was kind of just thrown into the fire. I don't believe he should have been thrown into the fire so quickly. But he's not having success right now. I believe his last 11 games, he's 0-11 with Carolina.
Right. Well, May 21, he was on point. Then he threw 2 picks. Then he's gotten down to a 5.8 passer rating. And then he got benched. Then he got COVID. Then he got called back after eating Doritos on the couch and took over for PJ. And, yeah. I don't want to say he's done, but that was a game to me. You got to beat the Falcons. You were at home. You have to beat the Falcons.
That's a division game, too. Atlanta's one of those teams where if that offense gets going, you should beat them. But, they definitely can get you if you don't bring your A game. And we see what happened yesterday.
Yeah, you're being very kind, Stu, and I commend you for that. Cleveland, 24-22 over the Ravens. Lamar Jackson gets injured in that game. They almost came back with the kid Huntley, who actually looked better. He looked better than Lamar Jackson has looked over the last 3 weeks, but he's not been healthy either. And he's going to Green Bay's actually going to Baltimore next week. We'll get into that a little bit later. The Chargers over the Giants, 37-21. Green Bay, 45-30 over the Bears. Broncos 38-10 over Detroit. And your boys 26-23 over Cincinnati. What'd you think about that one?
That was a great game. It scared me a little bit. We went into overtime. It didn't need to be. Our kicker goes. He missed the game-winning field goal, so we went into overtime. But I'm glad that Jimmy and the team was able to squeak out a win. But it just showed me that we can win when we have to, because this was, in my opinion, this was a must-win game. We're still in the playoff picture, but I think this was a statement game when we didn't really have our running backs as healthy as they are, and we wanted to see if Jimmy could go down there and do what he had to do. So Jimmy was in his bag, as my boy James said.
Yeah, Jimmy was in his bag. He was in his bag. I think that, that was a big win for the 49ers. It could have been a big win for either team because they're both like teetering on the edge of getting in or not making the playoffs. So good win for both for the 49ers. But both of those are good teams, and that was a good game yesterday. And then finally in overtime, the Bucks beat the Buffalo Bills 33-27, and right now the Buffalo Bills are in trouble. And we're going to talk more about them a little bit later. Now we're going to switch to our next segment of the show as we talk about the state of the Washington football team. And there's our main man right there, Aaron Moore. What's up, Aaron?
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, bro? Where your hat at? Where your Washington hat at?
I still got it. It's on my heart, man. It's on my heart. I got that in my heart.
Hey, Aaron, look, dude, you got to talk to us, man. Yesterday, they came out there and immediately were down before you even got a chance to sit down with your iced tea and whatnot and put your feet up. And they were down 18-0. And I thought, what in the world? Did the football team come to play yesterday? What happened?
I think they got surprised by Dallas front four.
Okay.
That was the first time their front four was all together this whole season. And you saw in the first half with Parson, Armstrong, Gregory, they get at it. They are very talented front.
Yeah.
They are very talented front. But here it is. But this is what I'm gonna say. In saying all that, it was two plays that stuck out to me. One was the amazing play Gregory made with the tip. That was an excellent play.
Yeah.
On the other hand, if he doesn't make that play, that's a touchdown for Washington.
Yes.
That was a great call. That was a great call by Turner. And that was six. That was six because it was wide open. That was a great call. That was a great call against the blitz. The second one was the play where I thought ground can't cause a fumble when they said our quarterback fumbled.
You mean Kyle Allen?
No, when Heineke fumbled.
Okay.
And they picked it up and returned it for a touchdown.
Yeah.
Even that one, we had Carter coming across the middle, wide open. He just didn't have time to get it there. He didn't have a lot of time. I think the first half was really surprising with that front four, and Heineke really didn't have no times. And another thing that I saw, receivers wasn't getting quick separation. They wasn't getting quick separation in that first half where Heineke didn't have time to throw. Now, in my mind, in that position, when you see a quarterback don't have time, we need to go to three-step drop, get the ball out. And I don't like Turner getting away from the run. I know the run really wasn't working. I would have liked to see Patterson get more carries, but stick with even if you get 1 or 2 yards, you got to stick with it. You got to stick with it. And we got nervous when they got up 18-0. We became one-dimensional. But
now let me throw this out. I think because we live in a pass-happy NFL, I think that the coaching staff for the football team failed to realize that the front four of Dallas was together for the first time. They are an overwhelming bunch. You have to start running that down their throat.
And another factor is nobody has seen that. Nobody has seen them all year. This is the first time we got film with them all together.
Yeah.
So, but on the other hand, Washington coaching staff should have been prepared for that.
They should have realized that because you went down to. I mean, it didn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that. Hey, yo, this front four is sick, and if we don't do something to neutralize this now, we're going to lose the ball game. You have to make that adjustment quickly. It didn't take a rocket scientist to see that. And you have a kid that's on the verge of getting 1,000 yards, and you failed to use him.
You know what's crazy? I thought about Carolina in that Super Bowl. You know, I was like, you guys got to make adjustments quicker than that.
Yeah.
You know, if they're getting out there, where was the screens? I was like, where's the quick screen game? Where's, use that momentum against them. If they get after the quarterback, have a back slip out the back and toss that thing to him with the blockers in front. Take advantage of that. Make them think like, dang, do I really want to, get after them? Do I want to kind of play the run technique? And there was no chess match. Dallas was just steamrolling you guys in the trenches. And you guys definitely bounced back in the second half and made it interesting going down there. But I wanted to see quicker adjustments, man.
And that was really the key is as to why Dallas won the game, because the Redskin coaching staff did not make quick enough adjustments. And by the time they figured it out, the game was for all intents and purposes over, but the Cowboys are the Cowboys. And they will give a game away. And they almost did it yesterday. They almost gave that thing away. And I didn't see anything really that impressive about Dallas outside of their defense overwhelming Heineke, who was not able to respond. Again, the coaching staff didn't help him out. But that was a game. I mean, you look at that game, and it's like Dallas is not really that much better than Washington, if at all.
No, they're not. And if you take away them 4 turnovers, Washington win this game. We have 4 turnovers. Now, mind you, their defense did play. Washington had no choice. Oh, I disagree with that, Fortney.
They didn't commit enough to it. You
they
can't
didn't commit.
abandon the
Yeah, you
run
can't.
just because you had to have a couple of
Exactly.
poor, attempts at it. You got to stay with it.
But our defense played well. They
Yeah.
scored one touchdown on offense. Defense
Yeah.
played well, and that was really the first time all their receivers were healthy together. I think our corners played well. And I told you guys, I've been saying this every show I was on. Washington does not give up, and I knew it was going. I was concerned about the time, but I knew it was going to be a point where we're going to rally. I knew the game wasn't over. 15 minutes left. The commentator saying this game is a wrap in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
they putting the L. I'm saying they talking too fast. And then Dak was Dak. I knew he was gonna get a ball. He gave the ball over twice. He gave us them picks.
That was a pick six, right?
Yeah, he gave.
It was a pick six. When he threw that pick six, I said, I think this game's over. I actually thought the Cowboys were done at that point.
If Carter catches that pass by Allen,
yep,
it's a tie ball game because we're going to score. Now, will Riverboat Ron go for 2?
You would have had enough time to do that. I mean, why be up 1 with 5 minutes left? If you could get that, I mean, I think it would have been like pointless really to go for 2, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but Riverboat Ron, you never know with him. But
well, Riverboat Ron is the reason you guys lost the ball game. I'm just kidding, but I'll just say that.
Right, because it is a such thing as called sideline adjustments.
And
we had halftime adjustments.
Look at this right here.
That particular time gets in 10 carries.
10 carries for 39 yards. You got to commit to the run better than that.
That's not it. Now, these fumbles are he's leading for fumbles.
Is that right?
Yes. I think he's tied for the lead.
That was a perfect pass, James.
Yeah, it was a perfect pass.
It was. He dropped it right in the basket.
He caught it right in the hands. If he catches that, I think we score. But but one thing, when we go back, we got to be. This Philly game is big now that we lost to Dallas. This Philly game becomes even huger. But
absolutely.
Now, when we go to Dallas better watch out. They better not think that this because they got out on Washington early that's going to happen when we come to Texas. Because I think Washington after this game be like, we should have won that game.
Dude, there's no question that you should have won that game.
Washington is probably looking at this film, looking at that second half, especially the fourth quarter, saying, if we played like that for 2 quarters, we would have won the game. So, I think they're gonna be more prepared for that front four next time they see him.
Gorilla Glue's for sale at Target, so he can catch that ball.
Yeah. Well, he's really been short the whole season. That's really the first pass this whole season I seen him drop. So it was a tough catch. It was a tough. Now, as a receiver, you say if it hits your hands, you should catch it.
Yeah,
it was a tough catch. He should have caught it, but I mean, he dropped.
It is what it is, man.
Look, Aaron here.
I never seen that's the first pass I seen him drop all year.
Well, here's the thing about it, and this should provide some solace for all Redskin faithful. Okay, here it is. The season's not over because you've got 4 games left. You got Philly, the Cowboys again. Wait a minute, is it 3 or 4 left?
4.
Okay, you got Philly twice.
Yep.
One more time with Dallas and one more time with the Giants. And I think the Dallas Cowboys are just waiting to give the division away to somebody. And I'm telling you, it's not over.
Well, for us to win a division, we're gonna need help from somebody to give Dallas a loss, and we're gonna need to beat Dallas. But I still think we got a shot for that playoff spot.
Most definitely.
Vikings. Oh, their schedule is brutal. Going down the stretch. I believe San Fran. I think San Fran going to be in the playoffs because I think they're a game ahead of us now. Maybe 2 games. They may have the first wild card, but we got the last wild card spot.
Yeah.
And I think if we win 2 of these last 2 games, I think we got a little gray. I think we're gonna be in. I think if we can get 9-8, I think we snag that. I would like to be 10-7. That would be more more comfortable. But if we squeeze in 9-8, I would love to play Dallas in the first round of the playoffs.
I think once Riverboat Ron and the coaching staff looks at the video of that game, they're going to realize that they actually would have had no problem beating Dallas. And if they can learn from the mistakes they made as a coaching staff, okay, the football team can win these next 4. Okay, they were on a 4-game winning streak going into this one. And there's no excuse for the way they played Sunday. There just isn't.
It's no excuse for how they came out. It's no excuse for that. It is no way.
Yeah.
It is no way how you come out that flat.
Yeah.
They came out flat. It's no excuse for that. There's no excuse for that. But I will say this. Dallas has the more talented team on paper. But Washington has the better team.
Okay.
That's just my opinion from the game that I saw in that second half. Once Washington settled in that fourth, because if Dallas was that good, it should have been like Kansas City in the Raiders game. That's how Dallas should have finished that game out.
Yeah, exactly.
And they gave
That's right.
And they gave Washington a little spark, and I think Washington's going to take that in their next game. And I think it's going to be a more tighter game throughout the whole game than what it was.
I would definitely agree with that assessment, Aaron. I believe that Dallas is a team that they don't know what they're doing right now as an offense. I think Dak is still injured from that calf injury. Ezekiel Elliott is not 100%. Pollard got nicked up in that game. Their offensive line is dinged up. And they are just not functioning as an offense the way they were in the beginning of the year, whereas the defense, on the other hand, is actually saving them. But if they run into a juggernaut offense, here comes Arizona because they're coming up real soon. They go out there and play the way that they did yesterday against the football team against Arizona, and they're going to get humiliated.
And Dak had his worst QBR rating his whole career with 9.8. Against the Washington football team, who supposedly doesn't have a great defense. They have a good defense,
Well, no, you know what? And that was conveniently forgotten. I think everybody's looking at what's wrong with Dak. Maybe the football team's defense what was wrong with Dak, because they have actually, for some reason, improved defensively ever since Chase has been injured. I don't understand that, but they've been playing better.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say one more thing about that. He is great when teams are playing him man to man, but when Dak Prescott struggles, and you could go back and watch the Washington game in that second half, when Washington was bringing people up on the line of scrimmage, and he didn't know if they was going to blitz or drop back in coverage and play zone. He struggled. When Washington played zone, he struggled. That was the pick that Collins got, and that was the interception a linebacker got that took it back for a touchdown. For some reason, he struggles with zone. I don't know why, but if you play zone against, and if you go back to the Denver game, Denver played zone the whole game. They rarely play the game, and he struggled with that. So more teams are going to play zone and play this fake man coverage, and then all of a sudden, ball snap, they're going in the zone.
Well, Aaron, it's a copycat league.
Yep.
And you're right. And teams, defensive coordinators are recognizing that very thing, that you just, if we recognize it, certainly DCs have recognized it. And they're going to have to figure this thing out going forward because they got some more. Dallas, that thing is not a done deal. And you mentioned the Chiefs as they destroyed the Raiders like they were supposed to yesterday. Yep. Let's look at Stu's AFC top 5. What do you got, Stu?
Can I get a drum roll?
Boom! There it is.
All right, AFC top 5. We got the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Sitting at number 1, the big dogs on the block. 9-4.
Oh, whoa! All the way to okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I fear them more than the Patriots. To be honest with you.
Wow. Okay. Go ahead, Stu. Do your
So we
thing,
got the
Stu.
Chiefs at 9-4 at number
Okay.
one. Number two, we got the Patriots at 9-4. Number three, hanging on by a thread, we got the Ravens at 8-5.
Okay.
Number four, Chargers bumped right back into it. You know, they had a great showing this week. They're sitting there at 8-5. And I got the Titans at 9-4. You know, they have a great record, but we all know that they didn't really play anyone. You know, when they play a real team, we're going to test that offense out without Derrick Henry.
Let me, and Aaron, I'd love for you to chime in on this, but let me say this in response to your top five in the AFC, and specifically where the Kansas City Chiefs are concerned. Okay. Impressive win yesterday, 48-9. They did exactly what they were supposed to do to a team that's going in the wrong direction. I'll give them that. But I'm not convinced that they're back. And the reason I'm not convinced they're back is because if you look at their last 5 or 6 games, they beat a Green Bay Packer team without Aaron Rodgers, because everybody's saying their defense has improved. It's easy for your defense to improve when Aaron Rodgers ain't out there. Where's Aaron again? All right, let's go get him. That's not hard. And then you get the Giants with Danny Dimes or Danny Nichols. I don't know what they're calling him in New York now. So it's not hard to stop them. And then you get, I forget the other teams in that last 5 or 6 game stretch. None of those teams were impressive offensively. None of them. And so Thursday night, they've got the LA Chargers in SoFi Stadium. Now, I'm not saying the Chiefs are not back. I'm not convinced that they are. Thursday's going to tell me everything we need to know.
You know
because
what?
If they go out there, Stu, if they go out there and struggle with the Chargers, who are not world beaters on defense, but they're not bums either. Like, that's a decent team.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And they go out there and they wet the bed in this one, then that kind of changes the whole scope of power in the AFC for me.
Right. I think what it is AFC is a weaker division than the NFC. Like, to be honest with you, the Chiefs, Chiefs are back. The number one team in the AFC would make the 4th on my list as far as in the NFC. That's the gap, So I think that, yes, they're number one in the AFC, but the dogs are in the NFC. We all know that. So
yeah. But I'm not convinced about Kansas City yet, but I'm not going to throw them under the bus either. They did, going back to what you said earlier, Aaron, about doing what you're supposed to do to a weak team. That's what the Chiefs did, and they deserve credit for that. But when you start playing teams that are complete, fairly to absolutely complete, then we can find out where their defense is. Because in order to win a championship, your defense has to be top 5-ish. And Aaron, I don't know, how do you feel about that?
I would put Kansas City number one. I think.
Yeah. I noticed by your silence you were signing off on Stu.
But I've been saying this. I said this a couple of weeks ago, and Stewart shut me down. So because he said they didn't really play nobody, which is true. I mean, it's a fact. They really hasn't played a tough schedule, but it's just the way they're doing it. I just think the offense is starting to click.
Man, that's a tough schedule.
There are 2 games on that schedule that remain for the Chiefs that will tell us where they are, the Chargers and the Bengals. I don't think they'll have a problem with the Steelers. The Broncos, they might even have a dogfight with the Broncos, but the Bengals and Chargers is going to tell us a whole lot about whether or not Kansas City is back. Mm-hmm. Let's go over to the NFC and check out your top 5, Stu.
All right, let me get that drum roll, Mo.
Bam!
All right, top 5 NFC. We have the Packers sitting at number 1 at 10-3. We have the Arizona Cardinals sitting at number 2 at 10-2. But they could, do something tonight. We'll see. We have the Bucks number 3 at 10-3. See, these are the big dogs.
Yeah.
You'll see what the top 20. With the top 10 where the Chiefs lay at. Number 4, we got the Cowboys at 9-4. They had a decent showing against the football team, And then number 5, we have those lonely Rams sitting at 8-4, and the Niners about to take that spot from them if they don't win tonight.
The Niners will take that spot from them
Well,
if they don't.
we're about to, because if they
They
lose
wouldn't
tonight,
take it from them outright. No.
yeah, well, we have a chance because we get a chance to play them again. I think the final game of the year we play the Rams, and we're only one game behind them.
Okay. Okay. That I can't even dispute your top 5 in the NFC. I think that's pretty much on the money. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Now your NFL top 10.
All right, so this is going to bring everything in, and you'll see exactly where the Chiefs are. We have number 1 at Packers, holding down that number 1 spot in the top 10 at 10-3. Number 2, we have the Cardinals at 10-2. Number 3, we got the Bucks at 10-3. Yeah. Now we have the Chiefs at 9-4. Number 5, we got the Patriots at 9-4. Number 6, put the Cowboys a little higher up there because of the injuries that we've had. We got the Cowboys at 9-4. Number 6, number 7, we got the Rams at 8-4. Number 8, we got the Ravens at 8-5. Hopefully Lamar is okay. Number 9, we got those Chargers. They keep on fighting, man. They keep charging it up at 8-5, and then we have the Titans at 9-4. I don't have no faith in the Titans.
I don't have any faith in the Titans either. I think that you look at those guys, and yesterday, I don't even know if you can count yesterday, but you do have to play the games. But beating the Jaguars 20-0 doesn't tell me anything about the Titans.
No.
They are not a team to me that has made me want to stand up and really take a good look at them. Ever since Derrick Henry left the lineup, it's kind of been like, well, is it going to be a situation where Tannehill can show everybody now that he's the man? Do you have any faith in Ryan Tannehill?
Not at all.
And so, you see what I'm saying? And so you just look at them, and people want to give him props for some reason. I'm like, and don't get me wrong, I will say he's not a bum, but he's certainly not an elite quarterback. It is what it is. And now, that being said, we look at tonight's game of Rams versus Cardinals. I'm going to tell you right now. Now Fortney just sent a message saying, tonight the Rams will be out of it, the top 5 after tonight. I will agree with Fortney. I'm like this. Tonight the Rams have to step up and they have to win this game. It's not like, they were close. They have to win this game to be taken seriously now as a Final Four team or 5-5, whatever, the dominant elite team in the NFC. Because then you're going to start going, whoa, can the 49ers catch them? Can the Vikings catch them? Can the football team? They're going to start sliding down to that level if they don't win tonight.
Oh, yeah. We're on their heels, Mo. We're on their heels.
And then you look at Matt Stafford, and I know Matt Stafford. He played in my division with my guys with Green Bay. I know who Matt Stafford is. And I think we got a little bit amnesia about Matt Stafford. Does Matt Stafford put up big numbers? Oh, yes, he does. He's had I think he had a couple of 5,000-yard seasons in Detroit. But one thing I know about Matt Stafford is he'll make mistakes. He'll make critical mistakes. And he's done that a couple of times with the Rams. And so we felt like it was a slam dunk for the Rams because they got Matt Stafford. And I'm like, yeah, he's got really, really good numbers. He's not Aaron Rodgers. If you put Aaron Rodgers on the Detroit Lions, the Lions are immediately where Green Bay is. Matt Stafford can't do that. He's not Tom Brady. He's not Aaron Rodgers. He's not Drew Brees. He's just a good quarterback, and I think we've given Stafford a little bit too much credit. Am I right or wrong on that? I don't know.
I think Stafford is up there. I think that what's going on in LA right now is that, they got a new toy and he just wanted to play with it. He didn't know, because what the Rams do is they do bootlegs. They do a lot of bootlegs. They do a lot of play action. They make everything look the same, but it's different. And he hasn't been doing that. With Stafford, he's kind of like, oh, I got a new toy. Let me see what it can do. And he's gotten away from what the Rams do, what their players are accustomed to running. He's kind of been, let me see what Stafford can do. And then, when Robert Woods got hurt, that messed the whole boat up. They had to go out and get Odell. Now it's a chemistry thing because Robert Woods was the Debo, like Debo from the 49ers to the Rams. He was that hard nose. You can give it to him and he'll run a jet sweep. He can go across the middle, take the hit, third down. Well, he was that gritty guy, and they're missing that. And you definitely don't have that with Odell. Odell go across the middle. He may, turn to Stevie Wonder and be like, make a business decision. So, they didn't replace what they lost. And I think that they know that they have to get back to what they're used to doing, running the ball, jet sweeps, bootlegs, stuff like that.
Well, what Stafford will do is he'll serve up a pick six in a minute. Good quarterback. He's got a great arm. He can stretch the field and he can put up some big numbers. But he has a history of losing ball games with pick sixes. He will do that. And I forgot when he was in our division in the NFC North when he was a Lion that because I loved playing Matt. I loved it. I love Matt. That's my guy, Matt Stafford, dude. He throw that pick six. Go, that's my guy. That's Matt, my man. So he's been doing that here and there with the Rams, and I forgot that that's who Matt Stafford is. But he's a really good QB, and if they can figure it out with all, that great system that McVay has devised, if they can figure out how to lower the picks, and if their defense can get a little bit tougher, Aaron Donald, those guys, because I think what you got, the way you beat the Rams is just run it down their throat. They've got a great rushing front four. They don't stop the run that well. So tonight, they've got their work cut out for them. They got to get it done tonight. I think they can. I mean, you got to remember, they whipped Tom Brady in the butt earlier this year. So, I mean, they did have Jefferson at that time. And that's one thing you never say about Brady and Aaron Rodgers. Well, they were missing their guy. They'll make a star out of whoever they need to make a star out of.
That is true.
There's no – yeah, what's up, Aaron?
Let me say this about Matt Stafford. Well, first of all, you have your 1A quarterbacks, which is, of course, Brady, Rodgers, Russell Wilson when he's, 100% healthy.
Yeah.
And then you have your 1Bs. I think Matthew Stafford is in that 1B selection, just under them. And mind you, he was –
Great point, Matt.
He was in Detroit for what, 10 years? For around
about 10 years, yeah.
About 10 years. Now, 10 years is a long time to lose.
Yeah.
And the records he had and the teams he'd been on, Matt Stafford felt like he had to do a lot. And a lot of that time.
Great point, James. Yeah.
It's force feeding. I have to make this play. I have to do this. I have to do that. And sometimes it's not really out of your system where he got to be like, okay, I got all these tools around me now. Let me just use my tools around me. I don't have to force it. I don't have to make plays. I don't have to almost get sacked in the end zone and throw it a prayer and get picked and then it's a touchdown. I don't have to. I'm not in Detroit no more. I don't have to do that.
Right.
And I think he'll learn. I'm sure McVay is in his.
Oh, Aaron, you saying he's shell shot?
And I got a secret for you guys about Russell too.
It takes time to get that out your head, man. It takes time.
Yeah. I can believe that one, Aaron. I like that. It does. You got to get that stuff out of your head, bro.
10 years is a long time.
I mean, on Russell real quick.
Yeah.
See, and I watch a lot of Russell Wilson. Unfortunately, he's on the Seattle. But the thing about Russell is Matt Stafford and Russell are kind of close. The reason being is when you look at when Russell Wilson was elite, when they could have won 2 Super Bowl games, what did they have? The Legion of Boom and Marshawn Lynch. They had that running game and they had that defense. Those are things you need on championship football. Detroit never had that. You know what I'm saying? He never had that. He kind of has it now, but they're not playing well. Like the Legion of Boom, they were like a body connected. You know, one knew what the other one was doing. Everybody was just flying around making moves. You couldn't tackle Marshawn Lynch. So they took the pressure off of Russell. When Russell gets to cooking, he can cook, but he doesn't win a lot of games when it's just all on him. When they got that defense and that running game, that's their winning formula. And you haven't really seen Russell the way he was when the Legion of Boom and that running game was together. When you look at Seattle and you look at Russell, he does, you know, he'll have his little games when he does great things. But as far as winning, when they lost that, I was happy as a 49er fan because now I was like, good. You know, I'll take Russell with no running game. When you add the running game and you add the defense, then that's a lot to overcome because Russell will get you because he don't really have to do it all. But, you know, that's one thing, you know, watching as a 49er fan, I watch a lot of Russell. And I know that, you know, even him, give him the running game and the defense, and that's a whole nother team.
Well, listen, I'm not going to argue with you on that. I think Matt Stafford, again, is a good QB, and I do like your comparison with, you know, Russell Wilson. They are actually similar if you look at their abilities at quarterback. You know, there's no question about it. But I think that the Rams tonight, they need to win this game, and it's going to be on the road, and Kyler Murray is back, and he is a problem. Him and DeAndre Hopkins are both back. The Cardinals are a real live problem, and the Rams have to beat them tonight if they really want to stay relevant in this playoff hunt where they're like comfortably in, and maybe they'll have a game at home in the playoffs, at least one game, you know, if they want to stay in that area. Otherwise, they're going to have a long hump to get to the Super Bowl, and the way that they've been playing, they don't want to take that route. They need to win tonight. They really need to win. I go back to what Fortney said about the fact that if they don't win tonight, they are, I would take it a step further, not only out of the top 5 as far as the elites go, they would be in danger of missing the playoffs because, again, they've got the 49ers breathing down their back. They've got the Vikings breathing down their back. Hey, Washington Redskin fans, please come on down from the come down, sir. Come down. Hey, the Redskins have a shot. They are not out of it. No, they are not out of this thing. We got 4 weeks left. Anything can happen, and the Rams need to win this freaking game tonight. This is a big game for the LA Rams, no doubt about that. Mm-hmm. Let's switch
I don't think they're going to do it
tonight.
Go ahead,
Stu. What's that, bro?
I said I don't think they're going to do it tonight. This is a big game. This is a must-win game for them. But Arizona, you know, they've been playing well, and this is a division game, so you know things can happen. But if the Rams won it, they're gonna have to take it tonight.
They're gonna have to take it tonight. I'm not banking, Stu, either on them doing that, but I do believe they're capable.
Yes, most definitely. They have the talent.
They're capable of doing it.
Yes.
Let's go over to our next subject. Getting back to the football team, are the Cowboys contenders or pretenders? There's nobody better able to answer that question than Aaron Moore.
I'm gonna say Cowboys. I'm gonna say they're contenders, and I'm gonna say that because of their front, that front defensive front. Because your offense can struggle, like Dak made mistakes, and that defense held them down. So
yeah.
If your offense is teetering like that, then if you have a great defense, of which they have a decent defense. I wouldn't say it's great yet, but decent defense, and especially with that front, they contenders. But how far can a contender go? A contender could, potentially lose in the first round of the playoffs. So, Are they Super Bowl contenders? No, they're not.
Okay,
so are they contenders to possibly, scrape through the first round to get to the second round? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. But Super Bowl contenders? No, they're not Super Bowl contenders.
And Aaron, that's where I am with the question.
Okay.
Like if you are not a team that is believable as a Super Bowl, not just attendee, but winner, you're a pretender.
No, because when NFC, you go against the Bucks and you go against these top teams in the NFC that could put points on the board, and your offense is struggling, and your running game is here one week and going the next. No, and your quarterback is not consistent. No, they're not Super Bowl. I don't know why ESPN and all these other guys on ESPN, Michael Irvin, well, he ex Cowboys, so Marcus Spears and Wiley be saying Cowboys Super Bowl. I don't know where they get this stuff from. I don't know what they see in these guys. They see talent, but when you look across the board as a team, I don't see Super Bowl.
Okay. Stu, what you got, bruh?
I say they're pretenders, man.
Okay.
They have all the talent in the world, but like Aaron said, they're inconsistent.
Right.
In order to be a real contender, a Super Bowl contender, you have to be consistent. Now, if the talent they have can all get on the same page and play the way they should be playing, they would be definitely contenders. But as of right now, pretenders.
And I'm going to have to be the third person on this train of calling them pretenders, because that's what I think they are as well. I think if you look at Dallas on paper, they are Super Bowl winners. I mean, you could argue that the Dallas Cowboys have maybe more talent than anyone in the NFL. You could argue that. I'm not saying hands down, but you can make a case for it. They got a lot of talent.
Yes.
But they make a lot of mistakes, and they make a lot of, dumb mistakes consistently. And you're like, what are they doing? I'm so glad I'm not a Cowboy fan, because I would have quit weeks ago. I would have started rooting for the Titans or somebody. If I was a Cowboy fan, heck, I might have gone as far to root for Cleveland. And, that's really bad. I might have to climb up on that building with that dude that's up there. Sir, you can come down. Anyway. But anyway, that being said, I'll just say it. They make a ton of dumb mistakes. And nothing's changed. And yesterday, nothing changes my mind about that, because really, the Redskins should have won that game. The Redskins should have finished them off yesterday. They didn't get it done. But because they
knows that.
Yeah, everybody in America knows that. The Cowboys know that. Mike McCarthy knows that. He went into the locker room and said, So everybody knows that, okay? And so that's not a contending team to me. They are not a contending team.
They pretenders.
They're straight up pretenders, and it's just a matter of time. You remember when Grandpa used to take the shotgun and a horse in the back? And anyway, I'll finish him off anyway. I'm just waiting. So anyway, we'll see what happens. Let's switch gears to let's see. We did tonight's the game of the week. Coming up next week, and I've got and I'm going to go ahead and tell you about it now, but it's two games, Green Bay versus the Ravens, and the Patriots versus the Colts. Okay, those two games next week are the two biggest games in the NFL, and I would say that the Colts game versus the Patriots is probably a tad bit bigger, only because I don't think that Lamar Jackson is going to be healthy.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think Lamar Jackson is going to be healthy, but that kid Huntley looked better than Lamar has looked over the past 3 weeks. That kid Huntley he looked pretty good out there yesterday. But that being said, I think we can expect fireworks in Baltimore with Green Bay and the Ravens, and also the Colts and the Patriots. I think this is a game where the Patriots could slip up.
Most definitely. I believe that first with Green Bay, I think you guys are going to steamroll Baltimore. I'm be honest with you.
Okay.
You guys I don't have you guys the number one team for no reason. Without
my
Lamar
man, that's
Jackson,
it, Stu.
Without Lamar Jackson, I think that you guys are going to run the ball. You got Aaron's going to be Aaron, and that defense is going to get after that kid. And I think that you guys are going to steamroll them.
Okay. Okay. What do you think about that one, Aaron?
I think the Packers going to win, but I wouldn't be so far fetched to say it's going to be a blowout. But I would say this: the Packers better not allow that running game to get going, because
Yeah.
that's the staple. That's the staple of the Ravens' offense.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, I agree with you on that, Aaron. We need to go in there with their chin straps buckled up real good and tight. I mean, this is not going to be an easy game. I do agree with Stu. I think we should be able to go in there and get it. But the Ravens are no joke. They're dangerous, and if you go in there slipping and sliding around a little bit, you have an L hung on you.
You don't want them. You don't want the Ravens hanging around. You don't want them hanging around in the fourth quarter.
No, like Baker Mayfield and the Browns did. Those dipsticks, those idiots, they're sitting over there on the sideline, and Baker's sitting over there, chilling like he's a boss, and I'm like, hey, yo, Baker, they're coming back, dude. Stop grinning. Anyway, they got lucky, and they got the win. But I tell you right now, Baltimore. Anyway, that being said, and I think the Colts. I still like the Patriots to win this game. It's something about the Colts. I'm not. They're dangerous. I don't know how they keep forgetting their run. What's the running back's name? Taylor.
Taylor, yeah.
They keep forgetting that dude. I mean, this guy is arguably the best running back in the NFL. Mm-hmm. And Frank Reich is in this. He's got a love affair with Wentz. I don't know if they've stuck a pin in their hand and they did the blood brother thing. Hey man, give the ball to Taylor. I don't understand. So anyway, we'll see. I'm going to go with the Patriots in this one. I think they'll win it. And Aaron, I agree with what you said about the Packers. And Stu, I think the Packers should win it. But I do believe also we better be ready to play some football. That game could get away from us, like you said, Aaron. So we need to be careful with that one. So we're going to wrap the show up, guys, with that. I want to let everybody know if you've enjoyed the Maurice Brown Show with Antoine, Stewart, and Aaron Moore, who always visits us every week with the state of the Washington football team. Hey, like it and share it. And subscribe to the Maurice Brown Comedy Channel, as well as any social media engine that Antoine, Real Stewart, and Aaron Moore are a part of. And also, if you came in at the very last part and you like, man, I missed this. You didn't miss it, because tomorrow at about 12 o'clock on the Creative Motion Network on Roku TV, you can watch the entire thing once again. And as we stay on the football theme, Christmas Day, December 25, check out this movie with my good friend Brett Varvel, who is in American Underdog, and he plays the part of Steve Mariucci. Dennis Quaid is playing the part of Dick Vermeil, and Kurt Warner is played by Zachary Levi, who is also in the film Shazam. Did you guys see Shazam, the movie Shazam?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Zachary Levi was Shazam in that film, and he's going to be playing Kurt Warner in this one. Christmas Day, check it out. You don't want to miss it. And until next week, everybody, stay safe. Stay away from that daggone nasty COVID-19. And most importantly, may the peace of Jesus Christ be with you and your families, everybody. Thank you, and God bless.